Every single day in the United States, more than 100 seniors die from accidental falls, many of them in their own homes in the middle of the night, just trying to get to the bathroom. Add to that the thousands silently suffering from undiagnosed sleep apnea, the growing number of sedative-related deaths, and the impact of poor nighttime eating habits on heart health. And a disturbing truth begins to emerge. The way many older adults prepare for bed is quietly putting their lives at risk. You might think you're safe, that what you eat, how you sleep, or what pill you take at night isn't a big deal. But science tells a different story, and the numbers are alarming. The things we do, or fail to do, in the final hours of the day are contributing to a silent wave of preventable deaths in people over 60. But here's the good news. You can stop this from happening to you. In this video, you'll uncover the 5 most dangerous mistakes elderly people make before going to sleep. Mistakes that have been linked to falls, strokes, heart failure, and even death during sleep. And the most shocking part? Almost everyone is doing at least one of them, every single night. If you're over 60, or love someone who is, you can't afford to miss this. Because by the end of this video, you won't just know what's putting seniors in danger, you'll know exactly how to prevent it. Starting tonight. Part 1. What you drink or smoke before bed could be killing you. In the quiet moments before sleep, when the day begins to settle and the body seeks rest, many elderly individuals unknowingly engage in a ritual that may be silently compromising their health, or even their lives. One of the most underestimated threats to the well-being of older adults during the night comes not from outside dangers but from seemingly harmless habits. The late evening consumption of caffeine and nicotine. What makes this especially dangerous is not just the physical reaction to these substances, but the way they subtly dismantle the body's internal clock, an already fragile system in advanced age. As the body grows older, its circadian rhythm becomes increasingly delicate, and even minor disruptions can have amplified consequences. A simple cup of coffee at the wrong hour or a habitual cigarette before bed may seem trivial, but their physiological impact is far from benign. Caffeine, often seen as a social companion or a comforting end to a meal, is a powerful stimulant that targets the central nervous system. In younger individuals, its effects may wear off more quickly, but in the elderly, the body processes caffeine more slowly due to reduced liver metabolism. This means the stimulating effects linger well into the night, even if the last cup was consumed in the late afternoon. The result? Shallow sleep, frequent awakenings, and increased time spent in lighter sleep stages where the brain and body are unable to repair themselves adequately. Sleep fragmentation then leads to daytime fatigue, reduced cognitive function, and increased irritability, forming a vicious cycle of exhaustion that slowly erodes mental and physical health. But more insidiously, chronic sleep disruption has been directly linked to higher risks of cardiovascular disease, metabolic dysfunction, and even neurodegenerative conditions such as Alzheimer's disease. Nicotine, on the other hand, carries an entirely different kind of danger. It doesn't just stimulate the brain, it hijacks it. Acting on the brain's reward pathways, nicotine triggers a cascade of neurotransmitters, notably dopamine, which creates a sense of alertness and pleasure. But this artificial stimulation comes at a high price. It disrupts sleep architecture, shortens the duration of REM sleep, and increases the number of micro-arousals during the night, tiny awakenings that the sleeper may not remember, but that dramatically reduce the restorative quality of sleep. In the elderly, this can be especially hazardous. Sleep is not just a passive activity, it is a regenerative state, where the body regulates blood pressure, consolidates memory, and balances hormonal levels. When this process is repeatedly interrupted, the consequences are not just fatigue, they can be fatal. Studies have revealed that poor sleep quality is associated with increased mortality in older adults. Sleep disorders such as insomnia and sleep apnea, often exacerbated by stimulants like caffeine and nicotine, significantly raise the risk of sudden cardiac events during the night. The heart, already under strain from age-related changes, becomes more vulnerable in the absence of deep, undisturbed rest. In fact, many cases of nocturnal death among seniors have been linked to undiagnosed sleep disturbances triggered or worsened by these substances. And yet, the awareness of this risk remains alarmingly low. What makes this reality even more troubling is that these substances are not always consumed consciously. Some elderly individuals may take medications or teas that contain hidden caffeine. Others may rely on nicotine not just as a habit, but as a coping mechanism for loneliness, anxiety, or stress, emotions that intensify with age. The psychological dependence is profound, and breaking the habit requires more than just willpower. It demands awareness, education, and support from caregivers and medical professionals who understand the complex interplay between substance use, aging, and sleep health. As the sun sets and the world quiets, the body craves safety, not stimulation. The bedroom should be a sanctuary, not a battleground between biology and behavior. Recognizing the silent danger of caffeine and nicotine is not just about improving sleep, it's about protecting life. It's about ensuring that the moments of rest are truly restorative, and not the last breath of a body pushed beyond its limits by habits that could have been changed. In this stillness before nightfall, awareness becomes the most powerful form of prevention. If this opened your eyes to something you hadn't considered before, tap the like button. It helps bring this message to more people who need it. And stay with me, because in the next part, we're going even deeper into a behavior that seems harmless, but has taken thousands of lives silently, right in the middle of the night. Part 2. The hidden danger in the medicine cabinet. As night falls and the world quiets down, many elderly individuals turn to their medicine cabinet for comfort, unaware that what they believe to be a safe passage into sleep could, in truth, be leading them towards something far more sinister. Sedatives, sleeping pills, and certain prescription drugs have become a nighttime ritual for millions of seniors. Whether it's to ease anxiety, calm restless thoughts, or simply force the body into slumber, these substances are often taken without hesitation. But what most people don't realize is that the aging brain and body respond very differently to these medications than those of a younger person, and the consequences of that difference can be fatal. As we age, the body's ability to metabolize and eliminate drugs slows dramatically. The liver and kidneys, our primary systems for filtering and clearing substances, become less efficient, causing drugs to remain in the bloodstream much longer than intended. What was once a safe dose in midlife can become an overdose in later years, not in the sense of quantity but in cumulative effect. For an elderly person, a standard sleeping pill can lead to prolonged sedation, suppressed breathing, and in some cases, never waking up. And yet, these medications are prescribed and consumed daily, often with little awareness of the risks involved. Beyond the physical effects, there is a profound neurological impact. Sedatives like benzodiazepines and similar agents alter brain chemistry in ways that disturb sleep architecture. Instead of natural cycles of deep and light sleep, the brain becomes trapped in artificial states that may feel restful, but are actually devoid of the restorative functions sleep is meant to provide. Over time, this distortion can lead to memory loss, confusion, increased risk of dementia, and a sharp decline in cognitive health. What's worse, the more these symptoms appear, the more sedatives are often prescribed, creating a dangerous loop of dependency and deterioration. The psychological side of this crisis is equally tragic. Many seniors feel isolated, anxious, or overwhelmed by the weight of aging. For them, sleep aids are not just about rest. They become emotional crutches, tools of escape from loneliness, fear, and insomnia driven by unspoken grief. Doctors, under pressure or lacking time, may prescribe these medications without full evaluation, and family members unaware of the long-term effects often support their use as an act of compassion. But behind that well-meaning gesture lies a trap, one that dulls the mind, weakens the body, and ultimately increases the risk of death during the most vulnerable hours of the night. The statistics are alarming, but they don't tell the whole story. For every elderly person who suffers a fall or a cardiac arrest triggered by oversedation, there are countless others quietly slipping away in their sleep, never waking up, and never being counted. Their deaths are written off as natural causes, when in reality the cocktail of medications they consumed night after night may have been the very thing that ended their life. This reality demands reflection, not just from those who care for the elderly, but from society at large. Are we truly helping our seniors by numbing them into unconsciousness? Or are we silencing their final years, robbing them of lucidity, connection, and the chance to sleep with peace, not sedation? True rest comes not from pills, but from balance, emotional, hormonal, psychological. It comes from treating the root, not masking the symptom. In the still darkness of night, when trust is placed in a tiny tablet to bring relief, the question must be asked, is that pill a path to healing, or a silent invitation to never wake again? So before you ever reach for that little white pill again, ask yourself, Am I truly seeking rest, or simply silencing the signals my body is desperately trying to send? In a world where quick fixes have replaced genuine healing, the most dangerous decisions are often the ones that feel the most familiar. And maybe, just maybe, it's time to question what we've always accepted as normal. Now I want to hear from you. Have you or someone you know ever relied on sleep medications or sedatives to get through the night? What's your story? Share your thoughts in the comments below. It's not just about engagement, it's about opening space for real conversations that can help others feel seen, heard, and supported. And stay right here because what's coming next is even more alarming than what you've just heard. Part 3. A simple step could save your life tonight. If you're watching this right now, it's because you care about your life. You care about waking up tomorrow morning. And that's exactly why we need to talk, heart to heart, about something most people ignore. What happens when you get out of bed in the middle of the night? It might sound simple, ordinary, just a quick trip to the bathroom. You've done it 1,000 times. But for someone in your stage of life, that small journey could become the most dangerous part of your day or your night. You see, as we age, our bodies change. Our bones become more fragile. Our balance isn't what it used to be. Our reflexes slow down. Maybe your legs feel weaker than they did a few years ago. Maybe your vision isn't as sharp in the dark. That's not weakness. It's nature. And pretending it's not happening doesn't make you strong. What makes you strong is recognizing the risks and having the wisdom to protect yourself. One of the biggest threats to your health and your life is a fall. It can happen in 1 second. One bad step, one rug, one slipper that slides out from under you. And that fall could break a hip, crack your head, or leave you lying on the cold floor until morning. Or worse, thousands of people your age die every year because they fell in the middle of the night and no one was there to help. But here's the truth. It doesn't have to be that way. There are simple things you can do tonight, not tomorrow, not next week. Tonight, that could save your life. Start by placing a bedside commode or a chamber pot. Yes, a simple pinnacle, right next to your bed. It may not feel elegant, but let me ask you this. What's more important, pride or safety? Getting up, walking across the house, and navigating through shadows to reach the bathroom is a risk you don't need to take, especially not when you're half awake, dizzy, or unsteady. Another powerful change? Lighting. Motion-activated night lights are inexpensive and easy to install. Place one beside your bed, in the hallway, and near the bathroom door. That soft glow could guide your way safely, preventing a misstep that could change your life forever. If you wear slippers, make sure they have a non-slip bottom. If there's a rug near your bed, remove it or tape it down so it won't slide. And if your path to the bathroom includes furniture or clutter, clear it out. Make your home a safe path, not an obstacle course. I know it can feel frustrating to think about these things. You may feel like you're giving up your independence, but the truth is, you're not. You're preserving it. Because one fall can take everything away. A hospital bed, a surgery, a long recovery. Sometimes there's no recovery at all. But when you take steps to protect yourself, you're choosing life. You're choosing to stay in control. You're choosing to wake up tomorrow. And more than that, you're choosing peace of mind. For yourself, for your children, for your grandchildren, for the people who love you and want you here, safe, healthy, alive, because the world needs your wisdom. Your story isn't over yet. So tonight, before you go to bed, look around your room. Is it truly safe for you to move through it in the dark? Or are there silent dangers waiting? The choice is in your hands. One simple change could be the reason you wake up to another beautiful morning. And that's a choice worth making. If you've ever gotten up at night and felt unsteady, if you've ever worried about making it safely to the bathroom, then you already know how real this risk is. And maybe you're thinking of someone else right now, a friend, a neighbor, someone your age who might not be taking the same precautions. Share this with them. If you're on Facebook or email, just click share or forward. It only takes a second. You could be the reason they wake up safely tomorrow. And speaking of waking up, in the next part, we're going to talk about something far more silent, a condition that affects millions of older adults in their sleep, and most don't even know they have it. Part 4. When your breathing stops, and you don't even know it. If you've ever woken up feeling tired even after a full night of sleep, or if someone has told you that you snore loudly, or that you stop breathing while you sleep, then you need to hear this right now. Because what might seem like just snoring or normal aging could actually be a sign of something dangerous, something that kills in the dark, something called sleep apnea, and many people your age live with it for years without ever knowing. Sleep apnea is a condition where your breathing actually stops during the night, sometimes for seconds, sometimes for more than a minute, over and over again, without you even realizing it. And every time it happens, your brain is jolted awake just enough to restart your breathing. That means you're never reaching the deep healing stages of sleep your body so desperately needs. You're surviving the night, but you're not really resting. And the longer this goes on, the more damage it does. You may think, I'm just getting older, that's why I'm tired. Or, everyone snores a little. But this isn't about a little noise. This is about your brain being starved of oxygen while you sleep. It's about your heart being placed under constant stress night after night. Because every time you stop breathing, your blood pressure spikes. Your heart races. Your body goes into panic mode. And you never even know it's happening. Over time, this nightly trauma adds up. It weakens your heart. It damages your blood vessels. It increases your risk of stroke, heart attack, and sudden death during sleep. And the terrifying part? Many people die from complications of untreated sleep apnea, and it's written off as natural causes. But this condition is far from natural. It's treatable. It's manageable. But only if it's detected. And that starts with awareness. So how can you tell if this is happening to you? Do you feel exhausted during the day even after sleeping? Do you wake up gasping for air, choking, or with a dry mouth? Do you get morning headaches? Has someone told you that you snore heavily or stop breathing while you sleep? These are red flags. They're not normal signs of aging. They are warning signs your body is trying to send you. Please, don't ignore them. Here's the good news. There is help. Sleep apnea can be diagnosed through a simple sleep study, often done right at home. And treatment doesn't have to be invasive. For many, using a CPAP machine, a small device that helps keep your airways open while you sleep, can completely change their quality of life. Others may benefit from simpler interventions like sleeping in a different position or losing a bit of weight. The point is, there are solutions. But the first step is realizing there's a problem. I know it might feel uncomfortable to think about wearing a machine to sleep, or to ask your doctor about something you're not even sure you have. But let me tell you this. Asking that question, taking that step, could be the reason you're still here a year from now, 5 years from now, breathing strong, laughing with your grandchildren, living the life you still have ahead of you. So tonight, when you lay your head on your pillow, ask yourself, am I really sleeping? Or is my body fighting for breath while I dream? You may not hear the danger, you may not feel it, but your heart does, your brain does, and now you do too. The silence of sleep should be peaceful, not deadly. Make sure your breath keeps flowing. Make sure you wake up tomorrow. So now you understand, what feels like just snoring could be your body fighting to survive the night. And ignoring it might cost you more than sleep. It could cost you your life. But it's not too late to take action and breathe safely again. And if it's not your breathing, it might be something else. Something you're doing right before bed. In the next and final part, we'll talk about how late-night eating could be silently putting your heart and your life at risk. Let's keep going. You need to hear this. Part 5. What you eat before bed could steal your life in your sleep. You've made it this far because you care, and that tells me something powerful about you. You're not just surviving. You're fighting to live well, to wake up tomorrow with strength. But there's one more danger we need to face before this night ends. One that hides behind flavor, comfort, and routine. One that many ignore until it's too late. It's what you eat, and when you eat it, especially in the final hours before bed. For many elderly people, dinner becomes the heaviest meal of the day. Sometimes it's late, sometimes it's too rich, sometimes it's followed by a snack in front of the TV. It may feel comforting, even deserved, after a long day. But here's the truth. What you put into your body right before sleep can either protect your heart or silently sabotage it. When you eat a heavy meal late at night, your body enters a state of high metabolic activity just when it should be winding down. Your digestive system works overtime, increasing blood flow to the stomach, raising your internal temperature, and forcing your heart to stay active long after your mind has shut down. For someone younger, this might just mean discomfort, but for you, it can mean danger. Studies have shown that late-night eating is directly linked to spikes in blood pressure, irregular heartbeats, and poor sleep quality, all of which dramatically increase the risk of sudden cardiac events during the night. Your heart, already more vulnerable with age, needs rest just as much as your brain. But when it's forced to manage digestion while you sleep, it's like trying to run a marathon while you're unconscious. And sometimes, it just can't keep going. And it's not just the heart. Lying down with a full stomach can also lead to acid reflux, which might seem harmless at first, just a burning sensation in the chest or throat. But over time, this can cause microaspirations, tiny amounts of stomach acid entering your lungs while you sleep. The result? Breathing problems, chest pain, and in some cases, infections like pneumonia that hit harder and faster in older bodies. So what can you do? First, try to finish your last meal at least 2 to 3 hours before going to bed. Let your body digest while you're still awake. Choose lighter meals in the evening. Less fat, less salt, fewer sugars. Avoid caffeine, alcohol, and highly processed foods. Your body will thank you for it, not just tonight, but for many nights to come. And most importantly, listen to your body. If you feel bloated, heavy, or uncomfortable before bed, don't ignore it. That discomfort might be your body's warning, a signal that something isn't right, a signal that, if ignored long enough, could end in a night you never wake from. You've taken the time to listen, to learn, to face uncomfortable truths. That takes courage. That takes wisdom. And now you know what most people never will, that your habits before sleep can either protect your life or slowly take it from you.